Hey, I will focus on social anxiety on this video. It's also called social phobia, and it's basically a type of anxiety that pops up in social situations where you have to interact with other people. First off, let's chat about why anxiety even happens. This disorder usually involves a constant fear of being judged, laughed at, or seen in a negative light by others. There can be lots of reasons behind it, like environmental, psychological, physiological, or even genetic factors. Think about being compared to others, criticized, or overly controlled by authority figures like parents or teachers. These experiences can all contribute to social anxiety. Now, let's talk about what people with social anxiety go through. They're more likely to feel depressed compared to others because that constant anxiety and fear can make them feel lonely, hopeless, and down. They often compare themselves to people who seem more successful, attractive, or just better at something, which can lead to self-sabotage. This can make them fall behind in school, work, and relationships, and that feeling of being left behind just makes their anxiety worse. Sadly, these folks are often bullied, especially during childhood and adolescence, which only adds to their feelings of helplessness and unhappiness, sometimes even leading to depression or suicidal thoughts. One of the biggest worries for people with social anxiety is that others will notice their anxiety. They find it super embarrassing to think that everyone will know they're scared. They might try role-playing techniques to manage it, but when that doesn't work, it can get even worse. It's tough to hide things like blushing, voice trembling, or not being able to speak because of nervousness. After such events, they might replay these moments over and over in their minds, losing sleep over it. Life for someone with social anxiety can feel like a constant struggle. Simple things like going to the store, paying at the checkout, ordering food, or bumping into someone they know on the street can be huge triggers. As you can imagine, school isn't usually a place with happy memories for them. It's not uncommon to realize there's a problem too late. Many teachers and parents just think a shy or introverted child will eventually grow out of it, but social phobia isn't something that gets better on its own. A child with social anxiety wants to chat and play with friends, like everyone else, but finds it really hard. They're terrified of making mistakes and being laughed at, and unfortunately, most kids with social phobia have already faced those situations. Kids often say whatever comes to mind without much empathy, which only strengthens the social anxiety. These kids are usually the ones who don't have many friends in class and aren't popular. From the outside, they seem ordinary, but inside, they're constantly criticizing themselves and feeling inferior. Doing presentations in front of the class is their worst nightmare. They'll find any excuse to avoid it, skip school that day, or try to disappear. They don't want to participate in class, and when the teacher picks someone at random, they pray it's not them and try to hide. So, what happens when someone with a school life like this needs to work and earn money? As adults, they've learned what situations bother them and have created comfortable environments for themselves. They usually go for jobs with minimal communication and work on their skills in those areas. But here's the thing, these jobs often require talent and hard work, and someone with anxiety struggles to focus on self-improvement because of the constant self-doubt in their head. Many people with social phobia end up taking breaks from school, work, or training to escape these stressful situations. In the short term, this gives them relief, but in the long run, things get worse. The feeling of being left behind becomes a reality. Their peers might have luxury cars, houses, spouses, and kids, while they're stuck with unfulfilled dreams, unfinished education, and persistent anxiety. So, let's talk about how to get rid of social anxiety. There's a lot of advice out there, but the tricky part is that the best way to overcome it is to face it head on. Gradually exposing yourself to situations that make you anxious can help you slowly get rid of that anxiety. The key is to stay in control. For example, when you're at the cash register, try telling the cashier you don't have enough money, and then leave without buying anything. The idea is to set tasks based on your anxiety level. If saying hello to the cashier makes you nervous, then doing a class presentation might be too much too soon. Start small and work your way up. In my opinion, you should take short walks on crowded streets every day. Do the grocery shopping for your house, and maybe wear more colorful clothes instead of trying to blend in. Go to a restaurant and eat alone, and ask the waiter for a meal recommendation. These small steps can really help you overcome social phobia. There's also an interesting method. Go to a crowded restaurant and break a glass on purpose, so everyone looks at you. The idea is to intentionally put yourself in a tense situation. I don't really recommend this because it involves causing a scene, but it helps illustrate the concept of facing your fears. I hope everyone dealing with social anxiety learns to manage it. It's tough, but it's not impossible. Good luck and peace to everyone. Thanks for watching my video. I'd love it if you liked and commented, and don't forget to subscribe.